All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. We're going to build a practical, science-backed toolkit to dramatically reduce your stress and heal your nervous system. We live in a world that, frankly, constantly demands our attention. So today, we're unpacking the exact biological mechanisms and, more importantly, the daily habits you can use to take your power back.
Now imagine coming face to face with a literal shark. That intense, heart-pounding panic? Well, your body essentially thinks a late-night urgent email from your boss is the exact same thing. We are constantly stuck in the sympathetic nervous system's gas pedal state. And sure, this system is designed to save our lives, releasing adrenaline, spiking blood pressure, pausing digestion so we can fight, flee, or freeze. But reacting to everyday modern stressors like their life or death threats, that just leaves us chronically depleted and inflamed.
But here's the good news. We have a biological antidote to that high-alert gas pedal, and it's the parasympathetic nervous system. Think of this as your body's brake pedal. When it's activated, it slows your heart rate, lets you digest food properly, and repairs tissue. It is the absolute fundamental system for resting and healing. The goal isn't to eliminate the sympathetic response. We definitely need that to survive. It's really just about restoring the balance.
So, here is our roadmap for today. We'll cover the autonomic nervous system, meet your vagus nerve, dive into dietary habits, movement routines, and finally wrap up with daily mindfulness and connection.
Section 1. The autonomic nervous system.
Let's start with the grand design of how your body regulates itself without you even having to think about it. Think of the autonomic nervous system as this vast, incredibly complex superhighway connecting your brain, down your spinal cord, and out to all your organs. It's shifting moment to moment to keep your heart rate, breathing, and blood pressure perfectly balanced. Like when you stand up out of bed, it's this system that constricts your blood vessels so you don't just instantly faint. It's brilliant. But here is where it gets absolutely wild. Deep within this network is the enteric nervous system. You've probably heard of the gut being called a second brain, right? Well, it literally houses more nerve tissue than your entire spinal cord. And even more mind-blowing, it produces a massive 90% of your body's serotonin and 50% of its dopamine. The microbes in your gut are literally manufacturing the chemicals that dictate your mood, your immune system, and your cognition.
Moving into Section 2, meet your vagus nerve.
This is the biological superstar that makes parasympathetic healing even possible. If you want to master your stress, you absolutely have to master this nerve. It's the longest cranial nerve, and it wanders all the way from your brainstem, down through your neck, into your chest, and right down into your abdomen. Because it connects to so many organs, its activity heavily influences your mood, your heart rate, and your inflammation levels. It's literally the physical wire that carries the calm down signal.
And get this. Astonishingly, 80% of vagus nerve fibers are actually sending information from your gut up to your brain, not the other way around. Just let that sink in for a second. Your brain is listening to your gut way more than your gut is listening to your brain. This bidirectional highway means that whatever is happening in your digestive tract is actively dictating the stress signals reaching your mind.
Section 3. Dietary habits for healing.
Knowing that the gut drives so much brain activity, let's talk about what to actually put on your plate. Certain nutrients and nervine herbs act as tonics to fortify your nerve tissue instead of just masking symptoms. For example, a ketogenic diet can reverse insulin resistance, which we know is deeply tied to mental health. B vitamins, especially B5 and B6 from leafy greens, literally help form that serotonin we just talked about. Calcium prevents nerve irritability. And herbal nervines like chamomile or valerian gently reawaken nerve channels without deadening them the way some pharmaceuticals might.
To put that into perspective and to show just how powerful diet can be, clinical trials in metabolic psychiatry revealed a staggering 32% reduction in psychotic symptoms for patients sticking to a ketogenic diet. In a recent pilot trial, patients who limited carbs and maintained ketosis didn't just lose weight, they saw massive improvements in mood stability, anxiety, and just overall global functioning. Food is a profound neurological intervention.
So, practically speaking, how do we feed that second brain? Well, by actively incorporating fiber-rich and fermented whole foods, you are directly nurturing the gut microbiome that fuels healthy vagal signaling. Things like fresh dark leafy greens, sauerkraut, kefir, and omega-3s from fish oil or flaxseed. These reduce inflammation and give your enteric nervous system the raw materials it desperately needs to produce those calming neurotransmitters.
Section 4. Movement and physical routines.
Moving beyond the kitchen, let's look at how physical habits build a remarkably resilient nervous system.
consistently getting in about 150 minutes of aerobic exercise a week, like running, cycling, or swimming, or doing mind-body practices like Tai Chi, stimulates a protein that encourages the growth of new neurons. Plus, it significantly improves your heart rate variability. High heart rate variability is a major marker of vagus nerve health. It shows your body can fluidly adapt to stress. Heck, even something as simple as walking barefoot outside to connect with the earth helps ground your nervous system.
But what if you need immediate relief, like right now? Well, you can try this simple doctor-approved breathing technique. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 to 6 seconds, then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 to 8 seconds. Do that for 5 to 10 minutes. When you manually force a longer exhalation than an inhalation, you are literally hijacking your own biology to trigger the rest and digest reflex. It is hands down the fastest, most effective emergency brake for a panic response you have at your disposal.
Section 5. Daily mindfulness and connection. Let's wrap up with some surprising, simple, everyday techniques to quickly boost that vagal tone. Okay, these might sound a bit out there, but trust me, the science is rock solid. Splash freezing cold water directly on your face in the morning. This engages the mammalian dive reflex and instantly slows your heart rate. Also, because the vagus nerve connects to your vocal cords, you can stimulate it by vibrating those muscles. Vigorously gargling water, or spending 5 minutes humming, chanting, or singing out loud sends immediate, powerful activation signals straight down the vagus nerve to your heart and gut.
And it's not all biohacks, right? Meaningful social connection, positive facial expressions, and safe physical touch are actual biological necessities. It's fascinating that healthy social interaction and something as simple as a hug actively counteracts stress physiology. We are hardwired for connection. Isolation ramps up the sympathetic nervous system, while positive eye contact and supportive touch physically stimulate the vagus nerve, telling your brain, hey, you're safe.
Of course, none of this really sticks if we aren't resting. Poor sleep instantly disrupts your autonomic balance, so implementing a solid bedtime routine is crucial. Keep a highly consistent sleep schedule, limit blue light before bed, avoid heavy late-night meals, and keep your bedroom cool and dark. If you need it, maybe try a Nervine formula with hops and valerian. This ensures your parasympathetic system actually gets the deep downtime it needs to heal your body and clear metabolic waste from the brain.
This quote really hits the nail on the head. Building a healthy lifestyle isn't just about isolated hacks. It's about holistically tuning your instrument over time. We aren't meant to live in a constant state of emergency, you know? By feeding our second brain, breathing with intention, and moving our bodies, we can absolutely restore our natural harmony.
So, I'll leave it with this question to chew on. Which of these actionable habits are you going to start integrating today to reclaim your calm and fundamentally rewire your nervous system? I highly encourage you to pick just 1 or 2 techniques. Maybe it's the 4-8 breathing, maybe splashing cold water on your face, or adding some sauerkraut to your lunch, and start practicing them right now. Take back control of your body's stress response. The tools are yours. What you do next is up to you.